Today we're doing a deep dive into the travel bags from Tolaccea. We've got their M1, their M2, their M3, and their U1. We're gonna take a quick look at each bag, talk about the pros and the cons, so you can decide if it's the budget travel bag for you. Let's jump into it. Now, it should be noted that this is a sponsored review, but here at Nomadization, a sponsored review does not equal a positive review. All it allows bag brands to do is pick their publish date, because we have like dozens of bags that are in line to be reviewed. So sponsorships allow the brands that we work with to skip the line. But we also only agree to sponsorships with brands that we think are interesting, and Tolaccea, if that's how it's pronounced, if that's your real name, are really interesting because they're a more budget-friendly brand, and they're doing some different things that I quite like. Now, one thing that Tolaccea does that I think is interesting is for a more budget-based brand, they're not like budget. Their bags are like anywhere from 70 to 100 USD, but they got a lot of structure to them. That kind of like modern, over-constructed design that a lot of people really like. Versus, let's take a brand like Bag Smart, another budget-friendly brand around 60 to 100 bucks for a bag. And typical for a lot of budget-friendly brands, they're just designed as more malleable and lightweight. And each way has its own pros and its cons. And some people prefer this and some people prefer that. And also the brand likes features. You can see here, we've got compression straps. We've got expansion. We've got stowable shoulder straps versus a brand like Tomtoc, for instance, who's in the same sort of range price-wise, but their bags are pretty simple and streamlined. They're just like kind of less feature heavy. So let's take a look at the 4 bags they sent us and talk about some pros and some cons. Oh, and real fast, if at any point during this video you're thinking about making a purchase or you want to find out more information, we highly recommend doing so with the first links in the description. Reason being, those links make sure that you get the best price. It'll lead you right to the official website. And also, we oftentimes have discount codes. But those links also help to support the Nomadization YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Starting with the MLife 01 travel backpack. Now, one thing to know about the M01 is we got some serious packed travel backpack vibes here. It's where you can see we have like the suitcase style handles and that suitcase style opening with the laptop compartment in the middle. Now, here's the deal. This seems like kind of like blatantly borrowing from their ideas. But also, I don't know if Pact made this design. I really am not a historian in terms of like who came up with certain design choices first, but I can definitely say, you know, it's very similar to Pact. But also, if you're drawn to that style, the Pact travel backpack is like 3 times the price. This bad boy is a 35-liter bag, but as you can see, we got a nifty expansion feature that allows us to go to 45 liters. But one annoying thing about all Tolaccea's bags, if you notice when I was trying to expand the bag, was how all these compression straps are getting in the way. And all these bags have compression straps. It seems to be like a big feature for this brand's bags. And compression straps are great because it allows you to cinch down the bag, whether you're just using it as a day pack at your destination, or if you want to get it like in the bin to fit like the airline restrictions. But on the flip side, compression straps, they're always just gonna interfere with zippers and get in the way and create more clutter. For me, I'm not a big compression strap fan, but I know like some people will never buy a travel bag without it. What about you? Are compression straps like a positive feature? Or does it annoy the living crap out of you like it does for me? Let me know your thoughts on compression straps in the comments below. Now, here's the one interesting thing that Tolaccea does is they have like this NASA system. Tab space was just like, what the f? And you can see right here, it is their dry wet area, which I think is interesting. It's got some innovation to it, especially if you're traveling with a towel, or maybe you're using the gym a lot, or you're just doing laundry really fast, or you got dirty clothes. It doesn't matter. Like, this is just an entirely separate compartment that ensures you don't have to contaminate whatever is in the main compartment. And speaking of contamination, I actually quite like their branding right here. And this is actually not just a cool little metal logo, but it's also ventilation. Oh yeah, that's ventilated, baby. So if you are traveling with gym clothes or maybe even a wet towel, there you can see right there, my cell phone light popping right through. So giving you that extra ventilation when you need it. And also this fabric, this material, it's kind of gnarly and it's really structured, which is help providing even a bit more structure for the bag. All right, next up, let's talk about the MLife 02. And also, as I'm looking at these bags, and I've been kind of playing with them over the past few weeks, I gotta say, like at the price point, they look pretty nice. You always get what you pay for. Like, don't get a $70 Tolaccea thinking it's gonna look like a $700 Tumi. But they've done really well, I think, by adding nice little accents and just little things like this metal logo, which just kind of give it a more elevated look. I wouldn't be surprised if, I saw this bag and it was, double, like $150, right? So I think that's one nice thing about this brand. Their presentation is definitely a bit more on the elevated side. for the price point. Again, we got these compression straps, which you'll either love or, like me, just drive you crazy. But this bad boy gives you duffel style access to this front compartment, which again has their signature dry wet compartment, this time significantly smaller, but again, utilizing the dual ventilation / logo. I actually like the organization of a travel bag like this because this compartment gives you a little bit faster access. I might put like my tech stuff in here. And I think it's actually a good business travel bag if you're on a bit of a budget, because you can see right here, we've got really wide mouth opening to the tech compartment. Now again, you get what you pay for. Why we have a key leash in the tech compartment, I don't know. Not the spot where I want to keep my keys. But I think at the price point, the laptop protection is pretty good. You know, we got a decent amount of back padding. And proud to announce we got a false bottom. About a ½ an inch right here at the bottom, which means if the laptop's in the bag and you're a bit clumsy like me, and you drop the bag, the laptop is less likely to get damaged. Overall, for an $80 bag, I do think the tech protection, pretty solid. This bag has a ton of features. We can actually stow away the shoulder straps right behind the back panel, which helps get rid of a lot of the dangle nightmare. Ooh, love that there's load lifters as well. But one thing I don't love as much is this hip belt is non-removable. You can see right here, I do love me a hip belt. It's great for back health. It kind of redistributes the weight from like your back to your front a little bit and puts some of the weight on the hips. But if you can't remove it, it can just be really annoying because you just don't always want it there flapping around. So that's a little bit of a buzzkill. Yep, so if there was somewhere to stow these away, that would have been nice. But overall, I will say for 80 bucks, you are getting a fair amount of features. Next up, we got the MLife 03. And this one is more like in duffel backpack fusion territory. And holy crap, talk about compression. If you like compression straps, this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4 on the sides and 2 on the top. It could be a compression strap record. And we got stowable shoulder straps, and this time, no non-removable hip belt. So each bag is kind of offering its own unique feature set. Big old quick access pocket at the front of this duffel bag. And this bag's interesting because it has that duffel aesthetic with the backpack wearability, but you're also getting that briefcase carry mode as well. And another expansion from 40 to 50 liters. In the main compartment, we again have that suitcase opening with a lot of organization, laptop here in the middle. A compartment like this is great for your packing cubes, bathroom kit. You might even be able to fit your shoes in there. And what's nice about these bags is while they have the structure, they're still malleable enough to fit enough gear. I'm actually really surprised that fits so nicely. Then on the flip side, you can throw another tech pouch, sweater for me, sweater for my significant other. Yo, this bag packs. Will it zip close though? Love the use of the chunky zipper. Again, packed vibes. Oh, it's very smooth though. It's not even expanded yet. Holy crap. Yep, now we're gonna add that expansion. You can see 10 more liters of storage space. And this is a really unique feature right here, guys. Notice at the bottom of the bag, we have this little pocket, which actually reveals, et voila, a duffel shoulder strap. It's really cool. I've never seen a designated pocket on a bag to hold the strap, which actually is quite smart because you're gonna be going back and forth between duffel mode and backpack mode, depending on what you're carrying and just like where you are, like a train station versus an airport. So just being able to quickly access that so you don't lose it is actually a very nice design touch. And then since we're compressing, let's see how these things actually, well, they work. Yep, this allows you to really take the bag down a bit on the front and then on the sides as well. So you can see right here, probably cut a couple inches of depth just by using these side compression straps. That's what compression straps give you. Oh, yeah, we cinched this bag down. That's what I'm talking about. But let's say you're like, dude, I'm into that Ulife. This is the Ulife 01, which is a different collection from Tolaccea. And this one's built a little bit more around business travel. Or is it? Let's examine that. Laptop compartment. I like the lighter color interior. Helps it easier to find what you put where. And again, this laptop compartment has a bit of a false bottom. Not the most epic false bottom, but again, at the price point, you can't go wrong. Gotta say too, wearing these bags earlier, they're pretty comfortable. Shoulder straps well padded, load lifters at the top, crucial for a larger travel bag in my opinion. Ventilated back panel, and we got the hip belt as well, but again, non-removable. This quick access pocket here, very nice, especially if you can fit the bag underneath the seat in front of you. I'm not gonna give you a high chance of that happening now that I think about it, but if it's in the carry-on bin, you just wanna throw something there, you get a little bit faster access to, that definitely works. God, these guys really love their compression straps. And notice here with the Ulife, it's not the suitcase style packed opening. more traditional backpack clamshell opening. And for you business travelers out there, this shoe compartment will come in handy because you're probably gonna want a pair of professional shoes and a pair of comfier travel shoes, one of which can always be in this compartment. But there's also no lack of organization in this bag. As you can see, we have another front compartment here and the entire wet dry pouch here, which again features the metal logo ventilation system. And there's another one here, the wet dry compartments, they never end. So some final notes in this overview. I think Tolaccea is bringing some really interesting things to the table. As to where they are coming in at a lower price point, not the lowest of the low, but like low enough is where you're saving money, but you're not compromising too much quality. And then with that, they're bringing a ton of features and that sort of like over-constructed modern design that a lot of people have grown to love from their travel bags. And I do stick by to what I said as to where I do think that at the price point, the design has a little bit more of an elevated look and feel. As to where these guys are in the ecosystem, I think is actually quite interesting. As to where, like I said, Bag Smart is a little bit more like the lighter, malleable side of things. And Tomtoc is even more constructed than this. So they're all three kind of bringing different things to the table. So if you have any questions about Tolaccea or you want to know anything about any bags in general, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And again, if you're thinking about making a purchase, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description, as we should have a discount code for this brand, and it makes sure that you get the best price. And if you're still not sure if any of these are the best budget travel bag for you, I highly suggest watching this video where we go over some of the other best budget travel bags that we've ever reviewed. Be sure to check it out now, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.